Hello guys, and welcome to some more Porsche Cup highlights here for the AOR AC Season 2 races. Here we are for round 3 at Mugello, and here is the qualifying lap session. This is actually our best lap of the session. We've done a banker already at 51.4458, and this is actually coming up to be our fastest lap of the session now. We're still in P3, but we wanted to consolidate that. It was pretty tight behind us, so we wanted to consolidate that. So here we go into turn 1 now, just braking at that meter board. Down into second gear, just better for turning in general and getting better exits, revving it out in second gear at the third. Now the left right, really tricky chicane here in third gear, and a little bit of understeer initially, but we take it nicely. We're really patient for this right part, and there you go, we get a pretty good run through there, and that's not too bad. We're a little bit down on our previous best. Now another chicane here, down into third gear once again, and then hitting it pretty well actually, and the right hander there, pretty well done as well. So it's all about the right handers. We're getting them pretty perfect. We've got them pretty perfect now. Fast section into fourth gear, right hander, really fun section this one. Just leave it in fourth gear, running a little bit wide, just losing a little bit of time, taking it a bit more tighter, but not too bad. Now the fast right handers once again, and now lifting off slightly for this right hander, keeping it tight, a little bit of understeer initially, and yeah, not the best speed, but it's not too bad otherwise. But we're still up. Now another chicane down in third gear, hugging the inside a little bit, don't want to hug it too much. Now the left part, and we get a nice run through there, really good exit, that was pretty decent. And now into this tight sort of, it's like a hairpin basically, down into third gear once again, keeping it tight. It's not a hairpin, it's actually just a long right hander, just my mistake there. And hugging it on the inside, getting a really good run in third gear, left right, really fun. You don't want to go offline there. If you go offline, you will spoil the lap, but we got it. We navigated through there pretty nicely. Now the last corner is all very crucial. You don't want to bend this lap now. It's very tricky, this last corner. Down to third gear, hug the inside a little bit. You can go a little bit wide and then get on the throttle as early as you can. And we're going to get a nice run to the line now. And here we go. It's been a really good lap. We're going up, and we're actually up by about 2/10. And this has been a really good lap. Very happy with this lap. It could have been a bit better, but round here you can't get the perfect lap. It's a 51.263. And I was happy with that lap. Really good. I think that was my best in general again. Even out of practice, it was coming in practice. I couldn't get it in practice, but it was coming, and the car felt really good. Very happy with that lap. A few little areas where I could go a bit faster, and ultimately that cost us, I think, P2 on the grid. We're about a 10th off getting P2, as you can see. Seppel did a 51.1, so 10th off there. Rich was just fantastic throughout the whole session. Again, very quick in qualifying as he was in Brands Hatch as well. So, yep, here we go for the race here. I'm looking for a good start after last week's disqualification from that corner cut, so we wanted to make up for that. So here we go, revving for 5 red lights here for round 3. And we are lights out on the way. We're going to get a pretty bad start. We bobbed down, didn't hit the revs perfectly, and there you go. We're going to lose positions on the start. And I was just frustrated with that. Really frustrated with that. Starts at Spa and Brands Hatch wasn't too bad, but there, absolutely bottled it into turn 1 now, taking it really cautiously. Didn't want to push it too hard. It's not worth it. Just trying to see if we can make a gap, but just there's no space. There was no point in me going for a move there. Just trying to go for something, and here into the left right now in third gear, and I just had to avoid the guy in front. I think it was Burnout, and that lost me a little bit of time, and now I lost position to Franglish. So both my AVR guys, teammates, are going in front of me. And that was annoying. That was really annoying. Just a bad start in general. And I just tried to make. I knew it was a long race. I knew there's time to get back up the order. But down into P8 from P4 on the grid, and disaster of a start really for us. Just really disastrous. But just keep an eye on Franglish. He's a little bit. These guys are kind of a little bit slow at the start. So I knew I had a little bit more speed than me, but I just couldn't get past at this point of the race. It was not worth it. Burnout's trying to go for a move on the inside of, I don't know who it is. I think it's still PRT, perhaps it is. Burnout loses the rear end a little bit there. And me and Frank get a really good run. I'm looking on the inside here. I try and go for it, but Frank is just a little bit early on the brakes, so I couldn't follow him through. And then Burnout's on the inside of Franglish once again, and they're going wheel to wheel. And Burnout loses the rear end. He goes to the circuit, and we're now up to P7. So we made a position up there, but still 3 positions down on where we started. Also, the guys in front, there's some people, I think it was AVR Chirac and somebody else had underfueled their car. Actually, it's Franglish and Chirac both underfueled their car, so they actually had to pit this lap. So I was trying to do my best to try and get through here. I tried going for a move at the inside of Franglish here, and I literally just lose the rear there, and it cost me the exit, and I lost another position, and that just further just annoyed me more. Really was annoying. I tried to attack SLPRT back in the slipstream, but I just couldn't. I really couldn't, and it was frustrating. The start of the race was really frustrating for me, and it should have been better. It should have been better. Just trying to go around the outside here. CLPRT. I tried to make a position around the outside. I was pretty confident on the brakes through here, and we're wheel to wheel with him. And I try, but he has the inside line. And he's got priority. I try to look at the inside, but it's not worth it. It's not worth going for a move there, and I let him have the move. And we're up into P6, obviously, because both Franglish and Chirac had pitted. But once again, I felt I was getting held up by CLPRT here in the early part of the race, and I just tried my best to keep behind him and just try and make the most of it here. Yeah, could run there, and we're looking. I mean, generally we're looking pretty quick out the corners. I couldn't find the way past. It's pretty hard to overtake around here because obviously this is actually a MotoGP circuit, so it's not easy to overtake. There are opportunities, but it's not easy. Now for the right-handers, once again, keeping with him, keeping it tight, just keeping him under pressure, and then into the right-hander here. We get a good line through here. He's a bit worse off, but we just didn't get the exit we wanted. Having a look at the inside, but again, it's not possible for that move into this tricky right-left, very tricky here. And this track in general is very tricky in general. It's very hard. You have to master it, and he gets a really bad exit here. And I looked at opportunity here. I was like, this is actually a good chance to get a good around the outside here. Just trying our best, and he just. Yeah, he kind of goes deep and doesn't nudge us off, but he just kind of forces off a little bit there. So that's fair play to him. He's allowed to do that. He's ahead. But once again, there's trains forming behind him. I was just desperate to get past him. If I could get past him, I could pull a gap, but I just couldn't. I just really tried everything I could now, and yeah, not getting the line I wanted there. Just taking too much speed out of the exit. So I was just trying to. I was focusing more on him than me, and look at this, now Stubborn Gymnast is going for a move on us. He's going to go to the left hand side. I'm in a situation with CLPRT, but it's not really helping. He's got really good front end speed as Stubborn Gymnast. Heading into turn 1, and I have to defend Rich is fast up of the race, he's leading the way. And now into turn 1, I'm just trying to keep in front, and we're going down to second gear, and I lose the rear. I lose the rear on the curb, and there you go, lost position. A little bit of contact made with Stubborn, but it's okay. But I lose no position there, and it's been a bit of a disaster. The first 3 laps were really tense, honestly, really tense. Everything was picking off, but just not really good. The start really did hurt us a little bit there. It was all because of the start we didn't get it right, and we need to make sure in the next races that we actually hook up the start, so it doesn't happen again. But later on, we're still in P7 at lap 5. Simple as fast lap of the race, 51.8, which is rapid, very quick indeed. But here. Stubborn Gymnast actually disconnected, so we go back up to P6 again, so that was really good, and that meant I could chase down CLPRT. But exactly at this point I was like thinking, I had so much pace, and I just couldn't. I think because everyone was pretty close in terms of pace in the race, it just became annoying. But once again, we're caught up to CLPRT here. We're now looking for a move at lap 6. We're now trying our best to try and make something of this. Now we know is a good opportunity for us. We're really quick, and we knew we had better pace, and this is P5 here, and so far this really would have been a good recovery drive. Like kind of P5, I've been really happy. And now into the last corner. Now we're going to try and hook up a good run from here. I felt at this point I was a bit more in the groove in the race. I was a bit more relaxed. The first 3 laps were very tense, and I was a bit more tense, but we got a good run from that last corner now. In a slipstream, myself PRT, he's looking a little bit vulnerable, and here we go now. Looking for an overtake. We're going to go up the inside here of turn 1, and he's pretty much going to let us have it. I don't think he's going to actually fight it too hard. He knows we're a bit better than him, a bit more faster than him, not better. Up the inside, and we get the move done. That was a pretty decent move. Into P5 we go. So happy with that. Chasing down Pathox, who's just a little bit ahead of us, and yeah, the chase was on for him. But yeah, to be honest, after this point, me and Pathox were trading lap times. I was catching him at some laps, but other laps he was stabilising the gap. So he was me and him were on a pretty decent pace and pretty similar pace. But yeah, lap 16, 9 laps later, we've caught up the gap, but it's just it's just not enough. He's keeping it consistent, and he's some laps we're faster than him, and other laps he's faster than us, or sometimes we're pretty much exactly the same. So it was pretty hard to catch up the gap. I think we're doing a really good job at this point. He was doing a pretty bad job. We do our fast lap of the race this lap, 52.0, which is pretty good. Our race pace is getting better and better every single week. We're getting more consistent, and just doing the long runs before the race just really helped us with the consistency and everything in general. But yeah, arguably just the start, I'm just angry at the start. We didn't get the start we wanted. We should have got a better start, and it was just very tense. I was losing positions because I was just very tense. That's the reason. But here, this is where it all goes wrong. And it's very odd. I didn't even hit the curb there, and it just spat me out. It was like, yeah. And I actually had a little bit of the force feedback went a little bit loose. I felt it happened twice actually towards the end of the race as well, and it just spat me off. Like I didn't even hit any curb. I didn't run wide really, and that just lost me so much momentum. Now I was chasing down Pathox. I felt I could have probably got him by the end of the race, but that's lots of momentum. Lots of damage, yellow damage. Quite a dominant yellow damage as well, which means a bit more understeer as well in the car. So we had to really just manage the gap, and I didn't know if I had to pit, but seemingly from the car was handling after that, it felt okay. I could manage it towards the end, but I knew that I perhaps would lose positions to Burnout, who's behind us. But here, same position, same lap, and instead it's not me who makes a mistake. We take it really well, it's okay. Burnout loses the rear, gets lively, and he goes, and that's just really strange. The corner is just a dreadful corner. It's just horrible. So I was a little bit like upset with what happened with me. I felt the force feedback actually did. I didn't lose force feedback, but it kind of it went. It basically, for me, it completely it went a little bit loose. It wasn't as strong as it was. It didn't completely go, but it wasn't as strong as it was. So and that's why I lost the rear. Perhaps I didn't feel it was a little bit unsettled. Perhaps that was the reason, but. Yeah, last lap now here, nothing really happened. We're just lonely in P5, trying to get to where it was the end of the race. The car was about a second off the pace of where it was, because of the damage, causing us a lot more understeers in the car. So we're about a second off the pace, and we were just taking it really slowly at the end of the race here. I wasn't pushing it too hard, but it was hard to manage. But overall, I was happy with it. You know, from down in P8 to P5, I was happy with it, even with the crash as well, trying to manage the last sort of 7 laps for the damage. It wasn't easy, but it was okay. But here, yellow flags are out, and I wondered who it was. I thought it was going to be the back marker, but here we go, and it's actually not the back marker. It's going to be Pathox in P4. He moves over in the circuit, and it was so dangerous. That was so dangerous, and I could have, if I didn't see that, I didn't react quick enough, I would have crashed into him there, and that scared me. That really did. He was rolling forward, and I was on the racing line. He was on the racing line there, and luckily I avoided it. But that was P4, and I felt in some ways it actually was a result that I should have got in the end. Really, if I didn't make that bad start, I would have been in P4 probably. If the start went well for me. So P4, I felt locked into it a little bit, but arguably I felt that without the bad start, I would have come home P4 in the race as well. I think I had the pace to be P4, but last one now, taking it all cautiously. I didn't want to bin it. The car, again, the force feedback went a little bit weird at this point as well. Again, a little bit loose. Just couldn't get the feeling in the car. But we know what to do for the next race with that. We'll just reset the wheel before the race. But here we come across the line now for P4 in the race. That was pretty good for us. Could come back drive through the field. I was happy with that. And yeah, good points. After the disastrous race at Brands Hatch, we didn't get any. But good points there. And yeah, not too bad. Very happy with that. So guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave a like and subscribe for more content on the channel, and I'll see you for another video very soon. Bye guys.